I promised you lesbians, and now
Sessions may
finally
contain
I will
viewpoints that are the
I will
result of-
deliver, okay? I promised lesbians I will deliver. What are we learning about them? I don't know! It's another Jubilee video though, so get ready for that. Get ready for cringe.
I'm a black woman and I'm a dominant black woman, so I must be gay. I must be a lesbian.
What is that
What?
though? Like, what? Why does everyone?
What? I'm a black woman and I'm a dominant woman, so I must be a lesbian. What the fuck? Okay. Cringe levels off the charts. Let's go.
You look like a lesbian. What is that? What does a lesbian look like?
Lesbian. Side shave. Lesbian. Has one of those climbing hooks attached to the front waistband of their pants. Lesbian. Wearing overalls. Lesbian. You know, the lipstick lesbians are harder to spot, okay? I was about to say... God damn it. The lipstick lesbians are harder to stop. God damn it. The carabiners. Yes, lesbians can be identified by the carabiners they use. It's called I know, I'm not a climbing gay. I'm a driving gay. Prepare for cringe level lethal.
Step forward if you agree with the prompt. It's normal for straight women to feel some attraction towards women.
Oh no. Oh no. All of the straights step forward. Is this the episode where they all learn that they're gay? Is this the episode where they all learn they're gay?
Yeah, I think that is completely normal. Women are attractive. We are cute. We are hot. We're fiery. And yes, we're attracted to each other.
I've actually been on maybe like 2 dates with women because women are attractive and they're beautiful.
What? What the fuck? I got news for you. You're not straight. You're bi. You bisexual. Like, yeah, I've dated women before. They're just so fucking hot. Like, you know that's not straight, right? You know that. You know why are you on this panel for straight people? Jubilee, what are you doing? The first woman is just like, yeah, women are fucking sexy as hell. What do you mean? It's real normal for us to look at each other and just imagine what if. No, it's not. Straight people don't do that.
My feeling has always been that it's because I've had a past relationship with a man that was significant. Folks have said, well, you should identify as bisexual, right? And I'm like, interesting, because ultimately to me, calling yourself a label is not so much a labeling as it is an identifying, and it's like you end up choosing. Yeah. And so you can stop where you want, right? Like, I think there's the journey, and then for me it was like, no, I stopped at lesbian and I'm staying here. Yeah. So that's the word that I'm using.
I do have a follow-up question. Have you thought about women while masturbating?
Yes. Again, women.
Okay. Yeah. Super straight.
And are sexy. Even for me, and I'm a straight woman, I don't always like straight, can I say the P word on here? Porn. I don't necessarily like straight porn.
Don't they say like statistically that women in general, straight or not, watch gay porn because you're looking at the woman having pleasure, and
it's that pleasure sensation that we're looking for that I don't always get when I'm watching men and women.
That actually makes sense because I was a late bloomer and I found out what porn was when I was 17. When I saw it, I was like, oh, sex is for the man, because that's kind of how it looked. It's for the man, it's for the man to feel good. It never like clicked to me like, oh, you're supposed to also feel something. So I understand what you say when you mean that.
wow.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Hi, my name's Sarah, and I'm a straight woman. Physically, I've had attraction towards women. I had a crush on a girl, but that was it really, just a crush. Other than that, I haven't really thought about getting intimate with women sexually or romantically.
Girly girl and tomboy are problematic terms.
Look, can't cancel me, chat. Do it, pussies. You won't. This is just so, like, okay, look, I understand sexuality, it's fluid, it's complicated. I understand, like, people not, like, you know, like, oh, yeah, I'm straight, but I fooled around with girls in college, or, like, whatever. But, like, you're just, like, coming on a panel and being like, yeah, I'm straight, but also I really want to fuck women. And it's just like, what? I feel like that indicates that you're not straight. I feel... Am I the crazy one? Am I the crazy one, chat? Am I wrong? Okay. Alright. But for different reasons?
Personally, elementary school, I was the only girl at boys' birthday parties. Every time, because a lot of my friends were boys, and I was just told, oh, Claire's just a tomboy. I mean, I was a dress-wearing girl. I had bike ramps in my front yard. I wanted to do all that stuff, and so like, she's a tomboy. And that kind of fuzzied my queerness for me. And growing up, I was very hyper femme. I got Easter dresses and wore them year round, those big like tulle Easter dresses.
I did that too.
The best. But I was then looked at as a girly girl. So it's like, she can't be gay if she looks this way.
Well, I think it's hard when you tell someone what they
are, yeah.
So that's the only thing that I'm like, that could be problematic, because like you said, it fuzzied it for you. And that's why I think it could be problematic, because you can't put someone in a certain place. They have to do it themselves.
I think if you're self-labeling, it's fine, but like putting someone else
Agreed.
into it, not great. Hi, my name's Claire. I'm 23 years old, and I am team lesbian. Compulsive heteronormativity is definitely a problem. It's when you grow up being assumed as straight. That definitely happened for me. I grew up with only straight role models, watching only straight people on TV. All I saw was straight culture. And I had those feelings start to develop that I thought were wrong, and I was repressing and pushing them down. So I definitely think compulsive heteronormativity is a problem in society, and we need to have a lot more queer role models in all our communities.
So I think there's a split here to be made between being womanly and being feminine, right? Like, I feel womanly, but I'm masculine in terms of my presentation. And I also I'm going to say this, being feminine has
gender identity versus gender expression. Boom.
Has emotional qualities, and being masculine has emotional qualities.
Yeah, the expectation is I must be submissive. I must be the one, because I am female by default. I'm the submissive one. I'm very dominant. I'm dominant in the way that I present myself and when I'm in a room. And so men, especially, they're the ones who will suggest. I'm a black woman and I'm a dominant black woman. So I must be gay. I must be a lesbian. I must be a lesbian.
I mean, it'd be cool if you were. Like, I don't know, it's not bad if you are. It's not bad if you're bisexual either.
Is that though? Like, why does everyone always say like, oh, you look like a lesbian? What is that? What does a lesbian look like? There is no look. It's just what you are and who you are. I mean, my mom, when I came out, my mom was like, okay, well, you're a lesbian, so why do you date women that like to dress like men? Okay, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what they want to wear. That's what they want to wear. Okay, great.
So I was going to ask you.
True. But often what lesbians will want to wear is informed by, like, what lesbian culture is, you know? Like, back in, like, the 80s, you know, people would wear, like, leather jackets that had patches that would indicate, like, what their sexuality is, or, like, would wear different, like, accessories to indicate what their sexuality is. It was the only safe way to really communicate what their sexual orientation was. So, like, that still persists in some forms to this day, right? Like, yeah, like there's the culture of, like, how you express your gender and how you express your sexuality, and that's something that is still, yeah, like, damn it, I do that now, right? Metal Kitty Mom? Like, you know, I'm trying to think, like, what a good example was. In the 80s, it was popular for gay men to wear cock rings. They would wear, like, a chain necklace and then, like, a cock ring on it. And, like, with the assumption being, like, you would only know what a cock ring is and recognize, like, what the positioning of it meant if you were also gay. And so, that became, like, a shorthand way of, like, identifying other gay men that you could hit on or flirt with safely, you know? Carabiners are a thing for lesbian women, still somewhat to this day. But it's getting a bit messier now, just because it's safer for lesbians to be openly lesbian and gays to be openly gay. And, like, that's totally cool, right? And so, yeah, there are going to be cases of, like, mistaken identity, and that's fine. Might be irritating, but I think that's fine. It's like the culture sea change is, like, clashing, and we're going to find ourselves in a fine spot where, like, in the future you can't just assume who is gay and who is straight, you know? And that'll be a good day. I think that'll be a genuinely great thing when that happens completely and utterly, you know, unless you're at, like, a gay bar or something.
You guys a question. Like, do you feel girly girl or tom?
Carabiners just make sense.
I present,
okay?
like, in
Do
a
they, though?
more feminine way, but I feel like internally, I don't know if I'm masculine, but I feel like I embody a lot.
Oh, that's also true, Punky Gal. There is you know, there is that element of, like, cultural appropriation where, like, edgy styles or edgy boundary pushing looks get appropriated into the mainstream and distributed. And so, like, that's why over time, like, obviously gay men took on new ways of distinguishing themselves from straights, likewise for lesbians. You know, it's just a thing that's happened over time. Yeah, also, yeah, flannels used to be a lesbian thing.
Of, like, male traits where I'm like, I think with logic and I'm, like, strong and don't really, like, say how I feel, but, like,
Wait, thinking with logic is a male trait? Come on.
externally I'm feminine, but also it does, like, pose difficulty when I'm out, like, wanting to look at girls. A lot of time, like, I'm making eye contact and they're like, why is this girl looking at me?
The way the patriarchy functions is that it's like divide women and conquer women. Divide and conquer, right? We're supposed to fight with each other. We're supposed to compete over men specifically.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
I don't, you know.
Sometimes I feel like I always want to believe the best in women, but I feel like we've all had that thing where we're like, why is that girl staring at me? Does she not like me? Like, is she mean? Like, what's going on?
So
Maybe she just likes me. Maybe she thinks I'm cute, and I'll think that next time. Maybe I'm like, hi.
I guess I need to talk with more straight women because I do not understand that perspective at all. Like I have a lot of like lesbian friends who will be like, yeah, you know, like it can sometimes be hard to hit on like women in public because you don't know if they're straight or not. And so like I'll walk up to a woman and just be like, hey, your outfit is really cute. I really like your shoes, and see like if they react as if that was a flirtatious statement or if they react like it was just like a platonic compliment, you know? And like it's reading into then those like social cues that happen. Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard like, why is that woman looking at me? I guess because from my perspective, if like I see someone just like staring at me, my assumption is that they're clocking me as trans and find me like hideous or weird. That's my general assumption, and like I start to feel unsafe and I probably leave quickly.
Hi, I'm Dia and I'm straight. Whenever I saw Walk a Flock of Flame for the first time, I knew that was my lane. I did go through a phase where I was trying to see if I was interested in girls, but then it usually always led back to men.
I have been confused.
This, again, seems very bisexual to me, but...
By my sexual orientation.
I think like there was a time in my life where I was like, oh, boys are great. And then I got hurt, like a real hurt, where I was just like, man, need a break. And so then I was kind of like, well, where do I go next? And so, you know, I went on my dates as I told you. And I just haven't found a woman that, you know, makes me go, you know?
I mean, personally, like I'm still confused every day, and I think sexuality is so fluid. Like you can always be changing how you feel, and it's also like this attachment to still holding on hope that maybe I'll like a guy, or maybe like I could feel something with a guy, and even like identifying on like the lesbian side was hard for me because I still hold on to that label of being bisexual because I've dated men and because I still know I can like make myself in a way like men. So it's like,
if you need to make yourself attracted to men, I don't necessarily know that that's an indicator that you're bisexual. Like if you have to like put in work to be like, oh god damn, you're so sexy, like that seems to be an indicator that you don't like men all that much. Steph Spot, thank you very much for subscribing and supporting the channel. I think you are the second or third person to sub today. Thank you very, very much. Oh, nope, Salmon Moose did. We got four. We got 4 subs today on stream. Thank you very much.
do I like men because I like men or because I've grown up thinking I should?
Because they gave us that dream that you're supposed to find that Prince Charming and you're supposed to fall in love and have these kids and it's supposed to be like this thing. So
in my life, I had this plan out, like I'm gonna get married to a surfer
Riley,
guy.
you helped to start
cute little kids.
You helped to start an LGBT club at your college and then was asked to leave because bisexuals weren't gay enough. Fuck that.
And it's gonna be great. And I went on a date. It was my first date with a boy in high school. And I was like, he's gonna hold my hand at the movie theater. Oh my gosh, it's gonna happen. And he touched me and I did this. And my body knew before my head knew. Queer was not used that often, middle school, high school. The derogatory term was gay. That's gay, she's gay, that meant lame. So for me, I'm like, I'm not gay, I don't think I'm lame. So fell under queer, gay, lesbian as I got comfortable and deconstructed those labels myself.
I think that family does play a huge role. I was married to a man for 6 years. It was a little bit hard for me to actually have the courage to come out because I do come from a very strict Latina household. I tried to force myself into being in a heterosexual relationship for the sake of my family and for the sake of the what if it doesn't work out with a woman or me being scared and terrified. So I think that confusion is a very normal thing. in everyone.
I would say the most confusing element of things for me was literally the sexual aspect of my sexual orientation, because I was in a relationship with a man for like 7 years. And I learned over time that like the dynamic that we had when we had sex was the dynamic that I wanted, but I didn't want to be the me in it. Then I slowly
Hell yeah.
started to identify as a butch. I remember someone saying this, and I don't know who it was, but somebody looked at me and said, butch women couldn't get a man, so they're trying to be one. It was like a double failure. My name is Rachel, and I'm on the lesbian side. Heteronormativity in the sense of a set of norms that disciplines people and subjugates them is certainly a problem, especially in the
I have no idea what you're talking about. Also, continue to gift subs and bits, chat. I'd really appreciate it.
way that it impacts girls who are supposed to have a man, or, as they say about butch women, try to be one. That's not to say that heterosexuality is a problem. It's not crazy for people to be heterosexual, just like it's not crazy that gay feeling and sexuality is also natural.
In my experience, I've only been with men sexually and on dates, so I just haven't had that experience myself. But if I were to, at any point, have those experiences with women, I wouldn't put a label in it.
The reason why I disagreed about being conflicted, there's some things I don't ever explain to other people. This is one of them.
Thank you for the 300
I don't explain to you who I take home. I don't explain to you what I do in my room. I don't explain any of that. I like women. I've been on dates with women. I've done what I do with women and men, but I'm not.
Chat, there's only one. I think there's only one actual heterosexual on this panel. The other two heterosexuals are bisexual, or at the very least, not straight.
I'm going to label myself just so somebody else can put me in a category. I just always wanted to know this.
Wait, but you labeled yourself as straight. You put yourself in the straight category. What the fuck are you talking about? You already labeled yourself.
Why is it so important that you are identified correctly? And the need to come out, the need to say, I am this, I am that.
Personally, I saw just the straight side of life. I was
also because if you don't, like, historically people who date women have been if they are also perceived as a woman, are horribly mistreated or raped as a form of like corrective punishment. It's there's a reason people hold to those labels, and it's to show solidarity with one another and to to drive the like embracing of rights and like normalizing the entire activity. Yeah, well, like, why is it so? Yeah, basically, why is it so important to be yourself in public? Jeez, I don't know.
feeling the same way my friends were, and like when you get middle school, high school, college, I felt wrong. I was going to disappoint my family. I was going to be looked at my whole life as something.
I mean, I did that. I disappointed my family.
Less than. And if labels are not important to you, I think it's a personal thing. But for me, finding people that were saying like, this is why I feel this way, I'm like, I felt that way too.
When you said, well, why is it such a big deal to come out of the closet? Like, imagine being in a closet. It's dark, it's lonely, like you don't have anyone to express your feelings to. And I also think representation is so important.
Yes.
Like personally, I grew up with a mom and a dad, then my parents split up, and now my mom is married to a woman. And they were actually the first.
Congrats to her mom.
First Black same-sex couple to be on the cover of Essence magazine. Wow. So I just feel like, I know, right? Representation is so important.
What if there were no labels? What would that look like?
There would be no community. There would be no, I feel like if there were no labels, it's sad to say, but I feel like a lot of people would be in the closet, would be in the dark. Hi, my name is Amy, and I am a lesbian.
Unless we worked towards a future in which labels were largely irrelevant, which would be pretty cool and based.
I did hide myself for a very long time just because I do come from a very strict household. I did endure, actually being in that hetero relationship and actually experiencing it firsthand. It took me like a whole year of me basically ignoring him for me to finally realize like I can't be doing this.
Hey, crazy username. I'm a very femme-looking woman by my build, etc. But no one ever really gave me that much shit while I was out with a girl / being affectionate / physical with a girl because I have very masculine attitudes. Well, I mean, like, historically, lesbians have gotten a lot of shit. Like, been fired from their jobs for, like, having a spouse come pick them up, or, like, a partner come pick them up, or, like, stuff like that, It's a thing that's happened. People get assaulted for being lesbian. I remember there was a high-profile case in the UK about like 5 to 6 random young men attacking a lesbian couple on a bus. Yeah, it's a thing that happens. What are you watching? We're watching a Jubilee video about straight women talking with lesbians.
It's like, this is not who I am.
Closet.
This is not what I want for the rest of my life.
On the train? Yeah.
I believe traditional gender roles are important.
They're important to a degree. If a man were to date a woman and they were to get married, you would expect the man to provide and the woman to, stay home or work and just raise the children. If we didn't have those gender norms, then, how would the world work?
The reason I said that I agree.
What? If we didn't have those gender norms, how would the world work? I don't know, both parents would work, or they'd figure out which one would stay home? Like, Jesus. The lack of imagination here.
Agree is because the word role is that word for a reason. A role is a performance. So it's not, we don't need to naturalize it. We don't need to say women are this one and men are this one, or whatever your body is means your destiny is this. I just think that as social performances and ways of organizing our lives, we're not ever going to really get rid of the masculine feminine thing. So I think acknowledging it so that we can think critically about it is what matters.
That's okay, crazy.
I believe we're in a space where we're starting to like tear down things that we're not entirely understanding or appreciating why it was built. We have to appreciate that we have to have some type of structure. Now, does that structure mean that because I'm born?
I find the way she talks very interesting because sometimes like a really heavy accent comes out, but the rest of the time it's like relatively like accent less.
With a certain genitalia, this is the role I'm destined to be in. I don't know. It depends on which society you belong to. I don't want to do everything.
Uncle Dingler.
I don't.
For the follow.
That's why gender roles are important too. You're designating, this is what you do, this is what I do. I think that's okay. I am Marsha and I am straight. I think a lot.
Sure. I mean, designating different roles is fine, but like, why should it be based on gender? Why can't like two people like just talk about it and figure out what they want to do, what their role is, you know? I have a friend named Samuel. I think he's gay and I don't know how to talk to him. You talk to him as if you didn't know he was gay.
Of the decisions that we make come from pre-programming.
It is crazy.
For one, I'm Jamaican born. In Jamaica, being homosexual is a no. We don't do that. There was only one way. You were straight. That was it. So part of my decision is definitely my upbringing, but it's also from my experiences and realizing this is my fit. This works better for me.
Me and my girlfriend, we don't perform gender roles at all. Like, we care for each other equally, and it's definitely a bit different, I think.
Do y'all live together?
No.
That makes a difference. Too.
But for the past 3 weeks, we've been living together, though, so.
That may shift the longer you live together.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see why like certain household responsibilities should be defined by gender, especially because like I grew up with 2 moms, so I never was like, oh, like this is like my mom and my dad. Like this is my mom, and both my parents worked. They like threw my ass in daycare, and it was just like, in a way, I guess I had 2 dads, if you want to like put it in that way. But like, I think it's like about a balance of like sharing responsibility, you know?
Well, but does saying that the gender roles are important mean that we're saying that they should be employed? Because I'm not saying that they should be forced on anybody. Yeah. It's just whether and how much you want to like take it on.
They should not be forced on everybody. When you were talking about,
but that's kind of what you were just talking about earlier, where like gender roles like kind of show you like what you how you should fit into society, how you should fit into relationships. Why not just, I don't know, have your gender identity and then have the role in your relationships not correlated? You could do that. Many people do.
Doing the dishes and whatnot, my ex-husband was the person who stayed at home. I was the one who was at work. He was the one that was doing the dishes and cooking.
The world would be a better place without men.
Oh, damn. Oh, damn.
Well, I was just like thinking historically, like men.
Yeah. I was just thinking historically too. Yeah. She walked so we can run, all right?
One that have caused wars and created a place where women didn't have the same respect or capacity to be heard and seen. I think it'd be easier in a sense for me personally. I think a lot of the times men don't understand that I could be a woman that doesn't want to end up with a man, that they want to like change me, or a man and woman is like the only.
How did she get from men have been the ones to start wars to men think that she's straight? That is, okay.
The right way. Hi, my name is Jamie, and I am on the lesbian side. I think it just comes down to that I know I'm capable of being with men, and I find them attractive, and like I could see myself being with them sexually, but like romantically, I don't think I could ever really connect to a man.
Okay, I respect her position.
With men's power, so to speak, it gets like almost too extreme. Like, look what's happening today with the old white men trying to control abortion or women's bodies. But today, I think we would still need them in the world just to have at least a different perspective.
Yep.
I mean, I really struggled with this question because looking back, the only person in my life who's ever hit me was a femme lesbian. I have had experiences with.
Nah, P. Daniels. Lesbians, hot as hell. Okay?
Kind of unwanted sexual advances and things with men, and all of that's been bad too, but like my very worst trauma that is just stuck with me was a woman.
I don't think it'd be better without men, but I do think men need to be a little more educated on things. Even how we're treated in school by boys, like growing up was always...
If they hurt you, they like you. If they yank on your pigtails.
So I don't think we should like abolish all men, but I do think there needs to be some leveling out.
I think that definitely we're getting there. I feel like because of what men have done in the past, in our history, I feel like that's why they have this superiority over all of the women. But I do think that we are.
Yeah, it's almost like historically women were owned as property in Western colonial society. It's almost like that might have some kind of long-standing impact in our current day, huh?
Because of what we've gone through.
Yay! Now date each other. That was pretty cringe, but it was also, I don't know, wholesome. Do you think the mask femme spectrum is something we will eventually move away from? Yeah, I think so. Either totally flattening out the modes along the spectrum or moving to something totally outside of that. I mean, I just think that, like, what was that about? That was straight women and lesbians talking with each other. Good night, scrawny dweeb. No, I think eventually there's not going to be a spectrum. I think eventually it will just be like, you present how you present, and like, whoa, you're wearing like a really plain outfit, you're wearing a really crazy outfit, you're wearing a really comfy outfit, rather than like, you're really dressed masculine or really dressed feminine, you know? Sounds like someday we'll all be gay. It's too late. I already transed all of you. All of you are trans now. And gay. If you think I'm wrong, keep looking at men or women, depending on who you are, okay? If lesbians were all ugly, then why would straight men want to have sexual intercourse with lesbians? Threesomes, hello? Good point.